In a world where strong emotions often make us feel trapped, there is an ancient wisdom that helps people break free from their emotions as we reveal the deep secrets of Stoicism that can change your life. Welcome to a journey of self-discovery and inner strength. Marcus Aurelius said that you control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. When you realize this, you will feel stronger. You will find strength in a world where feelings can be like huge waves. How do we get to our anchor point? Join us on this journey as we delve deep into 7 invaluable Stoic lessons that will help you control your emotions and weather the storms of life with unwavering strength. But before we start, I really want you to watch all the way to the end of the video because there's something special there. You should subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already, so you don't miss any lessons. Let's all start now. Lesson number 1. See problems as chances to do something. There are problems all around us, from the smallest in our own lives to the largest around the world. Having problems is a normal part of being human. But can we see these problems not as problems to be solved, but as opportunities to make things better? Stoics have a clear view of difficult times. They think that while we can't change the things that happen to us, we can change the way we think and react to them. With this new perspective, problems become lessons, and not just problems. In Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, said something in that sums up this idea perfectly. The action is accelerated by what stops things that stand in the way become roads. In other words, every problem and every challenge can help us move forward. Think about how a river meets a large rock on its way. If we choose to see this as an opportunity for growth, the flow will not stop and struggle to overcome the problem. Instead, uses his time and strength to wear down the rock or open a new path. At first, this rock was a big problem, but with time and unwavering determination, it becomes a natural part of the river. It completely changes the course and shape of the river and creates a new pattern that shows how flexibly nature is and capable of change. This reminds us that when we face problems or challenges in life, we can also use our own strength and time to find ways to overcome them. They can become possibilities and things that ultimately change our journey. Likewise, problems in our lives can change our paths and often lead to results we did not expect an example of. This is when someone loses their job. After what was initially a tragedy, it can lead you to a new career path. It can give them the opportunity to improve, learn new skills, and achieve new goals. People who lose their jobs can even use the time to learn more about themselves, start their own business, and pursue their personal goals and passions. There are often situations in which problems and changes can lead to success and opportunities that we could not have imagined. You can grow as a person, learn more about yourself, and enter into deeper, more meaningful relationships in the future. After a relationship ends, a Stoic attitude also helps you be more patient. When we see problems as an opportunity to learn and grow, we are more open to change and willing to face problems head-on. We started asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? How will this lesson make me a better person? Of course, this does not mean that we should look for problems or treat real problems as if they were unimportant. It's about understanding that every challenge has an opportunity or potential. By taking care of this seed with a positive attitude, with patience and persistence, we can use problems as stepping stones to become wiser, more whole, and grow. Lesson number 2, how questions can help you ask yourself. This question, will this matter in 5 years? Many things happen in life that test endurance, patience, and global thinking. Every day we deal with emotionally charged situations, from the smallest, like spilling coffee, to the largest, like arguments with family and friends. When we're angry, it's easy to get caught up in how quickly our feelings change. It may seem like the end of the world. If you miss a deadline, will say something important, or forget an anniversary, but a strong question can help us see things more clearly and change our minds. In 5 years, will this still be important? This simple but profound question allows us to go into the future and see what has happened in the present. Suddenly, that heated argument or missed opportunity looks completely different. Most of the things we worry about now won't matter much in the grand scheme of our lives. Think about the problems and tensions you had 5 years ago. How many of these are still important today? How many have been overshadowed by new memories, experiences, and things learned? Being aware of this can humble and liberate. You using this question as a regular checkpoint allows us to figure out what is most important to us. This helps us distinguish between short-term problems and long-term effects. For example, low productivity workday may seem like a lot of stress at the moment, but we must remember that it is just one day in a decades-long career. This perspective not only helps us realize how important our career path is in the big picture, but also makes us more patient when things go wrong. The quote serves as a reminder that we can lose ourselves in the problems and tensions of the present moment rather than getting stuck in short-term problems. We should plan, make changes, and move forward over time, remaining calm and looking at the bigger picture. We must remember that time often brings clarity and answers to the problems we face. We can make people less anxious and help them solve problems better, and this is not just an attempt to downplay our concerns. This question also makes us think about what is important. It is important to invest in relationships, personal growth, and experiences that last, if we want the decisions and actions we take to mean something. In the long term, we live in a world that is very focused on the present. Why is this question important? If we want to find meaning and peace in our lives, the next 5 years will show us the way to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace. Return to this question often. This will help us focus our energy and attention on what is truly important. Mine. Lesson number 3: know the things you can change. Have you ever been in a storm? Not the storms with rain and thunder, but the storms of life, like those that come out of nowhere, that disappoint you or cause sudden changes. People who lived in ancient Greece and Rome and were called Stoics had a lesson in that. Feels like a lifesaver in these difficult times. The two sides of control. Think about it. You've done everything you can to prepare for an outdoor event, but it's raining. No matter how much you want it to, you can't change the weather now. But how you feel about the rain is entirely up to you. You could be sad and angry, or you could find a way to deal with it. For example, you could move the event indoors or enjoy the rain for a change. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus was born a slave in tow, but became one of the most important thinkers of his time. Long story short, we can change some things, but not others. Seems easy, right? But in this simplicity lies deep wisdom that can change our lives. We are confronted with a wide variety of situations every day. We can change some of these, just like we do every day. The books we read and the people we spend time with, but we can't reach many of them. World events, what do other people do? How long has it been? Yes, the weather. This is where things get interesting. The Stoics thought that our happiness depends not on what happens in the outside world, but on how we understand and respond to it. Our feelings are not caused by the event itself, but by the way we think about it. Think about a time when something went wrong. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted. It all felt wrong at the time, but after a while, you may have realized that it was actually a blessing. This meant that you had more opportunities for personal development. But how do we do that? Stop and ask yourself, can I do something about this? Do something. If the answer is yes, if the answer is no, it is an opportunity to work on being able to accept and change things. We can free ourselves from unnecessary pain. If we truly understand and internalize this principle, we can handle life with ease because we know that while we can't change the wind, we can change ourselves. The dichotomy of control is a bright light in a world that often seems out of order. It reminds us to put our energy where it counts most and to enjoy the peace that comes from knowing that some things are beyond our control. Lesson number 4. Think before you act. It may seem like a thing of the past to reflect in this digital age where instant gratification is valued. So, taking the time to think and pause can be our saving grace in a world where we need to act quickly. Think about how many times we have to make choices big and small. There are a lot of options from picking out a meal at a restaurant to picking a career path. But it's not just how big these choices are that matters. It has to do with how we talk to them. Let's look at a common situation where someone reads a message that makes them angry. Someone at work might be questioning your work, or a friend might make a casual comment. Your first thought might be to defend yourself or get angry. But what if instead of diving right into that emotional whirlpool, you took a step back and let yourself feel detached for a moment? You're not trying to hide how you feel by letting them breathe. You show that you understand them. It's not about passively accepting things or avoiding them when you reflect. It's about being involved with our feelings and thoughts. It has to do with asking deep questions. Why did this comment make me feel so badly? What beliefs or events from the past are affecting how I feel? Right now, is my first reaction based on what's happening now, or on things that happened in the past? Also, giving ourselves time to think before reacting is a way to improve empathy. We also allow ourselves to see things from other people's points of view. That coworker or friend may have been having a rough day and didn't realize how important what they said was. Through reflection, we were able to understand not only ourselves, but also the people we were close to. This habit can be very important. How many misunderstandings could we avoid if we stopped to think before we spoke? How many bridges could be built instead of being destroyed? Being able to stop and think is very useful in professional settings. People usually respect and follow leaders more who think about their choices before making them. People think of them as thoughtful, calm, and smart. Most of the time, they're choices which come from deep thought. Last, when it seems like everything is moving too fast, taking the time to reflect is a way to stand up for yourself, a quiet but strong message that we won't let the currents of now take us away. Making this promise means that we will take care of ourselves, be happy, and treat others well. It's more than just a practice to think things through before acting on them. It is a way of life that values depth over breadth, understanding over impulsivity, and lasting connections over briefly meeting someone. It's an inner journey that has huge effects on the outside world, changing not only how we react, but also how our lives are put together. Lesson number 5, write in a Stoic journal. Journaling has been respected in many cultures and times. It is not just a record of what happened, it is also a way of reflecting on yourself, growing as a person and clarifying yourself with your focus on self, knowledge, and personal improvement. This idea is not foreign to the Stoic philosophers. A Stoic diary is more than a simple record of what happens each day. It's a place for reflection, talk to yourself, and observe your feelings, decisions, and reactions. This is where the outside world and the inside world meet, and where personal values and beliefs shape the way we think about events. Imagine ending each day by writing down not only what happened, but also how it made you feel. And what made you happy? Or S, during the day. Why did a particular command someone made bother you? Or a small thing that made someone happy? When you think about that day, you can remember many different things that happened, from small things like briefly seeing an old friend again to big changes in your life, like achieving a big one goal or coping with a difficult situation. Each of these events had a different effect on you and made you feel different things at certain times of the day. Maybe you feel like everything is going well and you enjoy the little things you do every day. It could be completing a long, awaited task, or someone telling you how good you are at what you do. Such events usually make people proud and happy. But there are times throughout the day when things go wrong or don't go as planned, which can leave you feeling bored or even stressed. An argument with another person, a mistake at work, or even a rude comment from someone else could be the cause. Such situations can make people feel bad and uncomfortable. When we look at the little things that happen in our days and how we respond to them, we can begin to recognize the patterns in our minds. This can help us discover our strengths and weaknesses and gives us the opportunity to grow and improve our daily lives. We notice the things that influence our mood, help you make decisions, and shape our daily habits. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in a book that is now called Meditation. It was not intended for publication. It was an intimate conversation and a place for him to self-learn and remember the Stoic principles that will help him overcome life's difficulties. We can see through his writings how a man struggles with his feelings, reactions, abilities, and his place in the world to get something out of a Stoic diary. You don't have to be an emperor with all the chaos and information that constantly comes up our way these days. It's becoming increasingly important to take time to reflect on yourself in the midst of chaos. Daily reflection and a guiding ritual help to create a clarity. This practice can help you gain deep insights over time. You may find that you always feel stressed about some things and are forced to confront them or change your perspective. Some practices such as gratitude or mindfulness can improve your mood, and the thought patterns that emerge can help you grow as a person. A Stoic journal not only gives you ideas but also makes you more responsible by making you look at yourself every day. We are responsible for how we act and what we do. It is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore a repeated miskeys or to downplay errors in judgment. We are forced to learn, change, and grow. In short, keeping a Stoic journal is like having a wise friend, not critical, always ready to listen, think, and move on. It's a promise to work on yourself, learn more about yourself, and live a life in line with your values and principles. Lesson number 6, practice non-attachment in a world that is constantly changing, like an emotional roller coaster. Right at first glance, the idea of practicing detachment may not seem right, but let's look at what it really means and how practicing detachment can change your life. We don't have to hide our feelings or stop worrying about the things that are happening around us. It's about maintaining a balanced vision and calm in the midst of a storm. Imagine if could see and feel everything that was happening, without feeling too overwhelmed by it all. In other words, you can go through life with a clearer mind, and less stress without letting change control you. When was the last time you saw an exciting film? There were times in this film when the tension made your heart beat faster. There were exciting moments when you were excited to see how the story would continue. There were also sad moments where you could feel what the character was feeling because of their loss or a difficult situation. However, if you could notice these feelings without letting them control you, you would be able to see more clearly how each individual feeling shapes your experience. You can think about why you felt that way at that moment and how that affects your thoughts and actions. This skill can help you better control your emotions and make wiser decisions in your daily life. You can learn to enjoy exceeding moments without getting too excited about them. And you can also deal better with difficult feelings, although you are interested in history. You know, it's just a movie, they don't rush to help the main character. or comfort the crying characters. You are alert and feeling, but you don't move, essentially. This means practicing detachment. It is important to go through all the feelings in life and know when to stay at the seat of your soul. Pay attention without getting lost in the story today. When we are constantly inundated with information and warnings, this method becomes a lifesaver. Strong reactions to everything we hear can constantly wear us down. Detachment adds a physical layer and provides a way to interact with the world in a more balanced and sustainable way. Detachment is also very important in relationships with other people. We have all experienced situations in which conversations became tense and arguments broke out. Start practicing. Detachment can be the difference between a good conversation and a bad argument. Helps us listen better, respond with rather than react with, and handle disagreements with compassion and understanding. Self-knowledge and regular self-control are the first steps in promoting detachment. See the impact on our emotions and know our patterns in this space. This creates a gap between stimulus and response. We are free to decide how we react, the decision to act intentionally rather than instinctively. Detachment may seem like a farewell to the joys and joys of life, but it actually improves them because you don't get too invested in the outcome. We no longer have to worry about loss or change. We can enjoy the journey to the fullest and enjoy every moment. Finding balance in a world that is constantly changing is what detachment is all about. It is like a compass that points to inner peace and guides us gently through the many landscapes of life. By doing this, we not only improve our own lives, but also make the lives of those around us more peaceful and clearer. Mole's lesson number 7. Learn to be thankful among all the feelings that people have. Gratitude stands out as a golden thread that unites moments of happiness, contentment, and a broader vision of our lives. Stoic philosophers believed that although gratitude was natural, it should be actively practiced. They suggested making a daily habit of staying in the present and appreciating the good things in life. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a deep, deep appreciation for all the things, people, and events that make our lives better. Recognizes the beauty of everyday life, the lessons, the challenges, and the fact that every experience is short-lived, making them more valuable and important. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "True happiness lies in enjoying the present without worrying about the future." That sums up what gratitude is all about. You are completely in the present, enjoys every moment, every experience, and every conversation. Imagine sitting outside on a sunny morning. It's hot and the sun is shining. The rays surround you. Today is a cold morning and the warmth of the sun feels like a gift. You pause for a moment. Instead of just sitting there and going about your day, you put your hand on your chest and thank him for the moment, the warmth of the sun on a cold day. This makes you more aware and grateful of your place in the world and shows how you can show gratitude by noticing and enjoying the little things in life and taking a moment to notice and enjoy them. These moments you make life more beautiful and are more grateful for the good things that happen in it. We magnify this beauty and meaning in our lives. Another benefit of practicing gratitude is that it prevents you from focusing on what is missing, such as unmet needs or unknown future prospects. By focusing not on what we don't have, but on what we have, we make people happier, less jealous or angry, and overall better. You may be wondering how to put this into practice. It can be as simple as writing down 3 things you are grateful for every morning or evening over time. It can change the way you see things, making you more open to life's blessings and stronger when things go wrong. Expressing gratitude for acts of kindness, support, or love from others also strengthens relationships in a world where getting more of everything, from things to wishes, is becoming increasingly important. We strengthen relationships, promote mutual respect, and create a virtuous cycle of love and goodwill. Gratitude is a great way to remember how good our lives are. In this message, we are asked to enjoy the present moment, to fully accept life, and to go through life with a heart full of gratitude every night as the sun sets behind the eastern horizon. Today we leave behind the echoes of ancient wisdom in a world full of problems. The lessons we can learn from Stoic philosophy are very useful. When planning for the future, we can use them to make the future meaningful and happy. We can't wait to hear your ideas and stories about how you use these lessons in your everyday life. Please write your ideas and thoughts in the space below on this journey to find ourselves. We can share and learn from each other. Our last thought is to thank you very much for coming to join us. We hope that this video has taught you something useful and made you want to keep learning on your journey. Don't stop learning new things. Keep your feet on the ground and your curiosity alive.